Sadie, how late are you going to be out tonight? You hurry back to this house right now and start making me something to eat. Because you've been out of the house all day, my stomach has been in pain waiting for you to come back and cook. You really are the most useless woman ever if you're willing to let an older woman starve because you want to be out of the house all the time. I have been acting like your parent this whole time, so come home and show me the respect I deserve. I'm starving.
I'm sorry, Virginia, but I'm at the hospital right now, though. I've had to stay here a bit later than I was expecting, so I won't be home until late tonight. Could you please make something for yourself?
Huh? The hospital? Why are you, of all people, at the hospital right now?
You're asking me why I'm here? Because just a little while ago you came at me with a bucket of boiling water and threw it on my face. And because of that, my right eye has had a really hard time staying open due to the swelling. The doctor's already had a look at it and said that it might be very difficult for me to see out of my right eye for a while after today.
And what does that have to do with me?
What?
I don't care about any of that. Now you get your butt home right now and start making me dinner. You are so stupid. Who do you think you are going to the hospital like that without my permission first anyway? I don't ever remember saying I was okay with you leaving this house. Now you get back here. Now! Since I've been asking you to come home all week, yet you haven't even made a single attempt to. I'm having all your things thrown out of your room right now. All of these lovely photos of you and your little sister together will all be thrown into the trash out back and burned up later. Is it really okay with you, Sadie? I'm sure that would break your heart, wouldn't it? Since you're now aware of what I'm willing to do, get your butt back to this house right now. If not even this is enough to make you understand just how much of a...
very seriously. All because you seemed to think that me working a full-time job wasn't enough, and that I had to be home to take care of all the house as well for you all. Then there were times you'd run your mouth about how my cooking was terrible and toss it all. Do you have any idea how much food you've wasted? I put in so much work making food for you and everyone else, yet there were times you wouldn't even try it, instead calling it disgusting before throwing it all away.
It's your fault for making such tasteless food for a household of classy eaters. Honestly, I just thought you were always trying to make food for us with leftovers. You can't call what I did a crime when it was only natural of me to do.
You really think I'm complaining about that alone?
Excuse me?
All those days you'd have guests.
What the? You guys have a lawyer now?
Well, of course. Sadie needs to make sure she has someone to support her when asking for a settlement from you. And I'll have you know this right now. My sister is not changing her mind on what she wants from you. So I would highly recommend you and your family start working together with a lawyer if you hope to have any chance of lessening your punishments.
Wait just a second. Why are you talking about something like that right now? A lawyer? A settlement? All of that is the kind of stuff you only hear about in dramas.
Well, unfortunately, right now we're dealing with a lot of drama, so this has to happen. What you did to my sister was all crimes, and some of those could have very well been considered life-threatening crimes. I think she has every right to have you all pay her a settlement for the damages and ask that the judge sentence you to some time. I'm hoping that she gets away with pulling a massive settlement from you before you go.
I'm not taking this from my daughter-in-law. I won't let her take anything from me or send me to prison. And having to pay for a lawyer would be a complete waste of our money. Sadie doesn't even have money left either, so how is she paying for a lawyer in the first place?
If that's what concerns you, just know that my family is paying for her lawyer.
What?
My husband happens to be a lawyer himself, so he was able to find someone in his firm that could help us at a reduced cost. Actually, the man he's found for Sadie is one of the best lawyers in the city when it comes to things like domestic harassment and assault.
Your husband is a lawyer?
Yes, which means he is friends with a lot of the police force and has friends who are detectives as well. He's already gotten in touch with one of his detective friends, and they have begun to investigate your family to make sure they have accounts of all the things you've done. We already assumed we'd find lots of things like assault and harassment within your family based off what Sadie told us. But who knew you guys were also known for theft and scamming? Seems like you guys have been on the run from all of that too.
You guys were able to find out about all of that as well?
Of course. But you guys were able to run away from the police before anyone could find you. Until now. So don't be surprised when the police begin to ask about that later as well. And the judge, of course. We've already told the police about it with the evidence we found, so it's only a matter of time before they come to your house. Be prepared to be taken into their custody soon.
Wait a second, please. You're only causing my head to spin more and more by saying that. So can we please discuss this in...
We're not discussing anything with you anymore. We don't want to be in close proximity to those that not only assault and harass, but rob and scam people as well. It's time for you to be judged for your crimes, right? And once you've had to pay my sister for everything you've done to her, I believe you and your family will be losing everything. Normally, that would leave you on the streets with nothing at all, but luckily, you'll be in prison.
was no way she could get out of them. The whole family was charged with a variety of crimes, including robbery, grand theft auto, and fraud. It was clear that they had been living a life of crime, and now they had to face the consequences. I had always known that they would end up going to prison, just as I had told Virginia. It was almost ironic how everything unfolded exactly as I had predicted. I remember telling Virginia that they would all end up in prison eventually, and it turned out to be true. It wasn't something I wished on them, but after everything they had put me through, it was hard to feel any sympathy for them. In a way, it was almost a lucky break for them. They had to sell their house to pay off the settlements, which wasn't a small amount of money. But at least they had something to sell. The thought of them being left with nothing after all their criminal activities was strangely satisfying. Better they were in prison than on the streets with no place to go. As for the details of their sentences, I think my ex and his father were each looking at around 5 years in total. It wasn't a life sentence, but it was still a significant amount of time. My ex had always been a weak person, and I knew that he wasn't cut out for prison life. I wasn't sure how he would handle the experience, but that was something he would have to deal with. As for Iris, she received 15 years in prison. At her age, that was essentially a life sentence. She wouldn't have many more chances to hurt anyone again, and I couldn't say that I was sorry about that. It felt like a small measure of justice, especially after everything she had done to me and my family. It was strange, but a part of me felt a sense of closure after all of this. The thought that Virginia and her family would never be able to hurt anyone again brought me some peace. I could finally start to move on from the trauma they had caused. My sister was incredibly happy with the results of everything, and I think her whole family was cheering when the trial ended in my favor. It was a relief to know that justice had been served and that I was finally free from them. After the trial and everything settled down, we went out for dinner to celebrate. We chose a 5-star hotel outside of town, which had been on my list of places to visit for a long time. It was my first time having a multi-course dinner, and I was beyond excited. For once, I didn't have to worry about cooking or cleaning. I could simply enjoy the meal in the company of my loved ones. The food was amazing, and the atmosphere was perfect for such a special occasion. Before we sat down, I told everyone that since I would be receiving a large sum of money from the settlements, I wanted to treat everyone to dinner. I was feeling generous and grateful for all the support they had shown me, but the moment I brought it up, every single person at the table said no in unison. It was a humbling moment for me, realizing just how much they cared for me. They didn't want me to feel like I had to spend my money on them. It was clear that they had my best interests at heart, and that I was finally in good hands. As for me, I had been thinking about leaving my sister's house once I had fully healed. I didn't want to impose on them for too long, especially since they had been so kind to take me in after everything that had happened. But when I mentioned the idea of leaving, none of them wanted me to go. They insisted that I stay and continue to be a part of their family. Instead of leaving, they asked me to become their part-time housemaid. It might sound strange, but I was actually happy with the arrangement. I had always enjoyed doing the chores and cooking, but this time I would be paid for it, and I wouldn't have to worry about being hurt or mistreated. I still had a long way to go in terms of healing, especially with my face. The doctor told me that I would need several more weeks of grafting and wrap replacements. It wasn't easy, but I knew it would be worth it in the end. I couldn't wait for the day when I could take the wraps off and start feeling like myself again. The doctor had assured me that in a few more weeks I would be able to start showering and taking care of myself again without the constant discomfort of the wraps. In addition to my face, I had also gone for a full-body exam a week after everything was settled. The results were a bit surprising. I learned that I had broken one of my ribs at one point, but it had healed on its own, and there was no need to worry about it. The doctor also recommended that I start taking large amounts of vitamin D since I hadn't been exposed to the sun for a long time. It was something I hadn't thought about, but I could definitely feel the effects of not getting enough sunlight. Despite everything I had been through, my body had held up remarkably well. The doctor was optimistic about my recovery and told me that with enough sleep and rest, I should be feeling 100% in a couple of months. It was a relief to know that I was on the road to full recovery. There were still days when I felt exhausted or sore, but I knew that it was all part of the healing process. As for my emotional state, I couldn't remember the last time I felt so happy. It had taken me nearly 30 years to get to this point, but it felt like it was all finally falling into place. I had my family's support, the financial security from the settlements, and the chance to start over without the constant threat of abuse or manipulation hanging over me. It was a feeling of freedom I had never known before, and I was determined to make the most of it. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.